Live from Gotham City, it's the Geek Show.
I wondered why my floor was wet.
Everything's just damp.
Just before we start the show, for a limited time, these Abraham Lincoln commemorative coins with his beautiful face on them, I'm selling for only $99. You can get yours now with his beautiful face. Possibly the most maligned president. Possibly. Start the show. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, live from Gotham City. We do need to talk about where Gotham City is because Sue actually asked me.
Oh.
So we'll get to that coming up.
Excellent. And so she's going to listen to this show to find out?
No, she said just ask Robert, then tell me.
I'll listen to your show. I don't care.
We'll explain it coming up. Robert Neal is here. Hello.
Hello, and happy Batman Day.
It is.
What makes today Batman Day? Oh, we'll talk
the anniversary.
About it.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of when Batman first appeared.
There you go.
Okay.
Detective Comics. See, Rebecca's learning things on the show today. Rebecca Frost, everyone.
Well, it's okay. Today is the 21st, Batman Day. Tomorrow, September 22nd, the 20th anniversary of the premiere of Lost.
Oh, I wondered why you had your there.
Oceanic Flight 815 Survivor. Yes.
Makes sense.
And Too Tall Tony, Quad T, is here.
Hey, today's the 20th. Tomorrow's the 21st.
Nope, today's the 21st.
Tomorrow's the 22nd. The day after that's the 23rd, and it is nothing.
Oh, it's not nothing.
It's always something.
There's always
Wait a minute. I think
Well, do you remember?
Prince's
like-
anniversary is on the 23rd.
Yeah, it's probably like National French Fry Day or something.
I'm looking it up. Do you guys remember the 21st day of September?
Yes, I do.
I wish we could
Thank you for
play
the
it.
fire.
Oh, I wish we could play it. We'll
What's
just
the
get
day?
dinged.
The
Oh, is it a
23rd
song?
appears to be Bisexuality Day. So,
There you go. 23rd.
and
our host-
National Great American Pot Pie Day. Okay, that's all.
Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie.
Pot pie and bisexuality, they go
Two things to love.
together,
Right?
I guess.
All right. Well, let's.
Mr. Kerry Jackson, our
Oh,
host.
hi.
Bow, 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 bow.
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. Lee George Cade is not feeling well, and Jay Whitaker is on assignment. I guess the Wi-Fi on the boat ain't great
Yeah.
where
I
he's
find
at.
the boat's usually not great.
But that's true. That's true. But he will be in town this coming weekend at Wise Guys. So check the social medias and the Wise Guys website for times and all that stuff. All right, let's begin. This trailer, I wasn't expecting much from this movie, but I watched the trailer, and
Moly?
I'm extremely interested.
Bong Joon-ho Hive Rise Up.
Yes.
Very excited. What this Mickey 17. We haven't
Yes.
even said the title of it. Based on a book. I read the book earlier this year.
Oh.
And the movie appears to adapt the tone of the book pretty well, which is silly. And that's what the trailer looks extremely silly.
I was very surprised to see how silly it looked, knowing it was Bong Joon-ho.
It's such a pivot.
Yeah.
Because
Parasite? Holy moly. Not silly at all.
No.
not silly.
You
I'm
know?
Look,
kind
he's
of
not
silly.
he's not pigeonholing himself.
Yeah, this is great. I'm excited.
Good idea. In the movie, Battinson plays Mickey Barnes, a space colonist known as an expendable. Expendables do the most dangerous jobs in the colonies have to offer and often die in the process, only to be brought back to life via human printing technology. So like a 3D printer, but for people.
For people.
He said Bong Joon-ho said the number of times is the number of times he dies. I actually killed him 10 times more.
Yeah, in the book is Mickey 7 because he dies 7-8 times, but Bong Joon-ho was like, I just wanted to kill him 10 more times.
Let's just crank it up.
Pattinson is Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 in most of the story, apparently. And he gave each man different characteristics. And if you listen to the, he's taking on this voice affectation that's
Silly voice.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson, the new Tom Hardy, taking on a silly new voice for everything that he does.
Yeah. But it will be released in January. It's got Mark Ruffalo, Stephen Yeun in there, Toni Collette. I'm looking forward to this one, actually.
So
So a couple of things here. One, I wonder if this is what Stephen Yoon jumped to after the Sentry thing
Thunderbolts.
fell through.
Yeah.
One, two. Watching the trailer for this reminded me a lot of Moon,
Yep.
but it also reminded me of a game that I played many, many reigns past called Paranoia, where you have clones that are, where you have your player that has, you're given tasks to do, but they are highly dangerous, and you die a lot in this game, and you're reborn as your next clone in the sequence. And this kind of reminded me of that as well.
Yeah, this isn't exactly like a new, shtick for science fiction, but it looks like it's being done in a fun, kind of unique, goofy way. I'm 100% on board. I think this is awesome.
It looked fun. The other trailer that I saw this week that I thought I'd bring to your attention that a lot of people aren't paying attention to is a movie called Don't Move. And the reason I even looked at this trailer at all is I noticed that Sam Raimi was involved.
That's so funny. That's the reason I watched the trailer too, because I saw Sam Raimi produced it.
Because I saw the it was sitting there on YouTube waiting for me to click on it, and I just went, whatever. But then I saw the name Sam Raimi, and I went, oh, well, he's just producing it. But they apparently showed this. Netflix did their Geeked Week fan event this week, and they showed the trailer for this. This is coming out on October 25th. Don't Move centers on a woman who is grieving in an isolated forest when she meets a stranger. The man ends up injecting her with a paralytic agent, giving her limited time to seek help before her entire nervous system completely shuts down.
Jeez.
So the mysterious voice, I don't know who it is, it says, at minute 1, your fine motor skills will start to go. At minute 10, your legs will begin tingling. At minute 15, your legs will give out altogether. At minute 18, your breathing will become labored. And just before everything shuts down on you, your voice. And there's a great shot where she manages to get herself into a pickup truck, like the passenger side of a pickup truck. And there's a policeman knocking on the window, saying, ma'am. And she's trying to say, help me, and she can't. Oof. Yeah. This is, Kelsey Asbill. I think is how you say her name. She was in Yellowstone. She's done Fargo and Teen Wolf. Finn Wittrock is in there somewhere. Brian Murphy's involved. He's producer. Also,
Well, that's why Finn Wittrock is in there, because he was in American Horror Story.
Yeah. So that's another one that it's not getting a lot of attention, but you should take a look at it. It might be interesting.
A lot of the comments I saw were like, oh, so the movie's 20 minutes long.
No, I imagine they'll set things up.
That is how movies work.
We got to give her a reason to be in the forest, and that it says there the grieving part, so I'm sure that's got something to do with it.
The power of love, etc., etc.
All that, yeah.
Or the Three Bears Cabin.
Yes. The other video that I want you to watch this week, this was wild. I watched about 45 minutes of it.
Carrie, you would.
I did.
Holy.
I just clicked it on it while I was at work. And so if you want to see Aubrey Plaza get weird with knives, this is perfect for you. And who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Really?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. It is 5 hours of the cast of Agatha All Along doing ASMR video. 5 hours. So you get Catherine Hahn tapping her nails on things, clickety, 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 clack. You get Aubrey Plaza lighting candles and playing with a knife and licking the knife.
Just
You
a
get-
day in the life.
Yeah, you get Patti LuPone dealing cards and whispering about the cards. And Sashir Zamata, who is doing some kind of a scent thing, some sort of a spray bottle thing. 5 hours.
Thank you for taking that bullet for us.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't like this. I'm watching it now. And not to show my hand, I have been watching a lot of ASMR videos on TikTok, but I don't like this.
Well, what do you not like about this one compared to the TikTok ones?
This just it feels gimmicky.
Well, that's because it is.
No.
Yeah. The regular ASMR videos that I watch are very sincere, okay?
Oh, well,
I
you don't
see.
want an insincere ASMR video to
Never
promote
met.
the show that premieres this week. I see.
Never met a hipster ASMR fan, but here we are.
I was into it before Patty LaPone was
Give me
into
some
it.
original tapping, please.
If you were to make an ASMR video, Rebecca, what would it be?
Bunch of ear licking.
It's called the Space Show, and it drops every other week.
Okay. A little bit of housekeeping here, just real quick. Of course, geekshowgotthiscovered.com is our Patreon. You can go there and you get the Space Show early. You get to I dropped a couple of videos there, Tony.
I'll get those scheduled.
Schedule those if you would. A couple more time closet videos for you that are coming up, and of course the after party, which we do immediately after this show, which usually devolves into talking about food. But so support the show. We don't have any advertising. This is how we keep the lights on, so to speak. So
Nobody wants to advertise with us.
geekshowgotthiscovered.com, and of course geekshow.store is where you can get our merch. That also helps the show. And so I like seeing our logo out in the wild. Starting to see it more and more. It's very nice. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about Batman Day, shall we? There it is. Do we have a picture of the actual star? Because it's there now. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. Let me take a look-see.
It was apparently on the. Oh no! Wait, it's going to be on the 26th. Okay, I read this wrong. I thought it was this weekend. But September 26th, there's going to be a big event. Jim Lee from DC Comics is going to be there. And now, as soon as I was talking about this, everybody pointed out, well, he's a fictional character. He shouldn't have a star on the Walk of Fame. Got news for you. Mickey Mouse has a star on the Walk of Fame.
So
Oh my
suck it.
God.
Bugs Bunny, Kermit the Frog. Do you want to keep talking?
Yeah, jerks.
There you go.
Batman will be the first superhero to get the honor.
You're telling me Bugs Bunny's not a superhero?
That's right. That's
Bugs
true.
Bunny has a superhero persona. Yes, it's true.
He does.
He's only a part-time superhero. Batman's a full-time superhero.
I accept your
Also
argument.
true.
Yes. And now this one, the Batman one, is going to be placed next to Adam West's star on the Walk of Fame
Nice.
and Bob Kane's. It's going to be right there, in it, hopefully on a corner. That would be cool. It is the 2,790th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Did you know they don't just give those out? You have to pay for them.
Yeah, that costs money.
So I imagine DC Comics is paying for this, I would think.
Because they're not paying for
$75,000.
their animation department.
75K? Is there a subscription
75K.
fee as well
Plus,
associated? Up to?
There is a $250 application fee
That's where they
to prove
get
that
you.
you're serious.
The application fee, yeah.
According to DC press release, Jim Lee will be there. Senior Vice President, General Manager, and Pies will be on hand for the event, as will Batman himself. Now, they're not saying which Batman will be represented.
Many
I hope they all show up.
Clooney. Kilmer.
Yeah, fly Clooney in from Italy. To
I hope they all show up.
Batman
That would
will-
actually be cool.
That would be. Batman will be awarded the Guinness World Records title for the first superhero with a star on the Walk of Fame.
Sorry, Bugs.
Also, along with being the most adapted comic book character in live-action movies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because, I mean, the Batman movies do go back to, like, 43.
Yeah, they do. The serials, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cereals.
In collaboration with Funko, an all-day fan event it's September 26th. That's Thursday is when that's going to happen. Will take place alongside the Walk of Fame ceremony at Funko Hollywood. That's 6201 Hollywood Boulevard if you're in town. It's a 1-hour meet and greet with Jim Lee, and of course, any chance to make money, they're going to be selling Funko exclusives.
I was going to say, is Funko still relevant enough to be shelling out the money for?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it's just
yeah.
maybe it's just me that stopped caring.
Yeah.
People go ape shit for Funkos.
Still?
Yeah.
I've still got a few. I got rid of most of mine.
Huh.
But
Is this what old is like?
I think
I wouldn't
I
know.
think Funko's popularity comes from it feels very like entry level collectibles.
It is. For
Yes.
sure.
And they have one for everything. So like
It's
it's
also
really easy to find a collectible in whatever your fandom is.
Oh, really?
I can count on two hands the number of Funkos that I have. And I'm looking at three of them right now. I got Space Ghost, Zorak, and Brack. I've got King Tut.
Okay, those would be fun Funkos to have though. Oh my gosh.
I
I've
think we got
got
15.
at work, I've got Howard the Duck, I've got Rocket Raccoon, and I've got a Funko that a listener made for me of Hunter Thompson.
Oh, nice.
It was a
Well, that's the thing
custom.
about Funkos too, is you can customize them. Like you can order Funkos of yourself.
I also have Cornelius from Planet of the Apes, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. Anyway, never mind. All right.
I have
I
most
ended
of
up being
most
the
of
one
mine
with
are
the most-
Captain Marvel.
I have the most Funko Pops out of all of us here, and
I
I'm the
think-
one that's poo-pooing it.
Yeah, Tony.
I've
I was
got,
looking
like,
at your
50 or
shelf
60.
behind you.
They're only Rick and Morty Funko Pops. That's where I
You
decided
you
to
laser
focus on.
focused.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm only missing like 2 or 3 that were ever made
Slacker.
for it.
I had a
know.
Jawa one, and I think oh no, I got the Jawa one over there.
Yeah, all of mine are Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel variants, and then Goose the Cat. I have a couple Goose the Cat variants, and then I have one Captain America from his outfit from Winter Soldier, because I liked that fit.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I've got I think 15 or so, including a prototype Emperor Palpatine.
Well, I remember it was a few years ago. We had the story here on the show that it was like Funko was just exploding, and then suddenly it crashed. It was like
That's
people,
what I thought. It was still crashed.
people just went, ugh. But that store is still open on Hollywood Boulevard.
And they're making, and they'll make one out of, the wind blows change. Hey, we need to make a new one of this thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just make
Walk
the
into
same
any
one and-
walk into any box lunch store.
yeah, make the same one with a different colored jacket or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's move on to Black Mirror Season 7.
Yeah.
The cast has been announced. And yes, you're going to get a sequel to that space episode, the USS
yeah, brother.
Callister. But here is the cast. They're not saying what they're going to be in. This is just the people that will be appearing in Season 7. You've got, there's Awkwafina right there. Malunka Brooks, Peter Capaldi, Emma Corrin from Deadpool and Wolverine, Patsy Farron from Firebrand, Paul Giamatti is going to be there, Louis Gribben. I was going to say Paul Giamatti from Star Trek. That's a nice sentence to say.
Yeah.
Louis Gribben from Blade Runner. Let's see, Rashida Jones from Sunny. She's always a pleasant welcome sight on my TV. Sienna Kelly, Billy Magnuson from Roadhouse. That's interesting.
Billy Magnuson, not just from Roadhouse, but from many other
I was going to say
game night.
It's interesting that they get that was the credit that they put next to his name.
From the upcoming Aladdin spinoff where he plays a prince that didn't need a spinoff.
Oh,
Disney's Aladdin is getting a spinoff?
The live action one. Yeah, so there's
What?
in the live action Aladdin, there's a character who has maybe 30 seconds of screen time, and he's a prince, and he's getting his own movie.
Is it one of the rejected princes?
wow.
Yes.
What the heck?
Okay. Rosie McEwen. Kristen Milotti, who is absolutely amazing in The Penguin, which we will talk about coming up. Chris O'Dowd, Issa Rae, Paul G. Raymond, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jimmy Simpson, Harriet Walter. Tons of people in there. And of course, sequel to the USS Callister.
That's probably the one that Kristen Milotti's in.
Was she in the original one? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. She's so good in The Penguin, you guys. We'll talk about it coming up.
I have an unpopular opinion about Black Mirror.
Ooh, let's hear it.
One, I like it. Two, I think Britain should take it back. I don't like the Netflix Black Mirror. I think it's too tame.
Too tame?
An argument could be made.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you know,
I
the
think
first
the biggest.
The British seasons were better.
the first episode of the first season was pig
Yeah.
fucking. You know, I
That's
mean,
the litmus test. That's the litmus test. If you can
Yeah.
get through the first episode,
can make it for
then
the
you're
rest of
gonna then you're gonna enjoy the rest of the show. But
Okay,
once
so I
Net-
should pick up the
once
rest
Net-
of the show now. Okay, got it.
oh, because you didn't make
yeah, I
it.
saw the
stopped-
first one. I'm just kind of no, I made it through the first one. I'm just kind of like, that was rough.
Yeah.
Well,
it gets
that-
rougher, but it's all the UK seasons that are like rough.
I would say the UK seasons are the BBC seasons might be consistently better, like as a whole, than the Netflix seasons. But I think there's certain episodes of the Netflix seasons that are better quality in general. They're better,
Sure, I
and they
would
have some
agree.
that are worse.
I would agree. I think if we're looking at it like by season overall, the British do better seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But Netflix has good individual episodes.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think they should take it back.
I think the biggest problem with Black Mirror right now is we're getting to the point where everything that they're showing us, or a lot of what they're showing us, just doesn't seem that far-fetched anymore.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like the British stuff, because the British stuff was actually like
What was the one where it was like you had a camera recorder in your eye,
Oh, man, that was a
and
good one.
and every moment of your life is taped.
Fantastic episode.
That one is so plausible.
And yeah, exactly. That's the one where you look at and you're like, we're 10 years away from something like that.
That's the scary shit on that show.
But then the first season of Black Mirror, the second episode, once you get past the pig fucking episode, gets you to an even worse scenario where it's the future, and like if you don't have any money, you live in this building where all you do is exercise, and if you want to get out of the building, you either have to do porn or win like a talent competition.
Was
and
that the second episode?
yeah,
Wow, man.
it's the second
was a
episode.
good one.
That was a really
Yeah,
good one.
but
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think the British episodes are much better at being like, this is far-fetched and pretty
Yeah.
dark.
Now, see, I got to go back and rewatch all this now
Yeah, you do, man.
after all
It's
this
good.
talk.
And then you got the one with the kid who like you were on his side, and then at the end you realize he's the monster, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Rob, this is adult TV time. Make sure the kids aren't around.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. We saw we knew that going in, and we started watching the first episode. And it was like, okay, oh my god, what in the hell is? So that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an episode.
But then there's
with,
also, I think it's in the second season, there's an episode with Haley Atwell and
That's the one I
Domhnall
was
Gleeson.
just
That
about
one
to
is
say.
so good.
That
Really
one was
good.
really good.
Make you cry.
Yes. Yes. So it's not all pig fucking, Rob. It's all
So say, I mean, they came out of the gate strong. I'm just like, wow, they just.
But once
Right there.
Netflix gets its hands on it, it's a lot more like,
I like to think of that first episode of season 1 as kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's like, well, there you go. Okay.
this is what we are, and you're
That's
either
not just
on
ripping
board
the
or you're
Band-Aid
not.
off. That's not just ripping the Band-Aid off. That's like the scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin, just ripping the chest hair just straight off.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the category. Do we need this? Is the question. The Sims movie.
We don't need
No.
this.
Why?
Why?
Why? Exactly. Why?
I'm in the middle on this. I'm waiting for arguments to persuade me one way or the other.
Do I think they could do a good job with it? Maybe. But
Do you know why they're going to do a good job with it? Because it's being produced by Margot Robbie's production company. Lucky
That is
Chap.
true.
that
Lucky
gives
Chap,
me a little more confidence.
Lucky Chap, and Vertigo Entertainment are adapting The Sims for Amazon MGM Studios. You've got Kate Herron, who directed some Loki episodes. She's going to helm the feature from a script that she is co-writing. So that's promising.
Mark my words, we're going to have an Oscar-nominated song sung by Billie Eilish in Simlish.
Oh no.
Now, see, that was going to be my next question. Is I'm just familiar enough with this game to be dangerous. I've never played it, but there was a period where my wife she was all about The Sims
Your wife was all about The Sims?
for a good month and a half, I think. She was all about it, and I remember the language. And I got thinking, now, how do you make a movie about this? Is it about mind control? Is it about free will? What is it about? You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question.
So going back to free will, if they do it Free Guy style, maybe.
But we've seen that.
But not with multiple people that are,
But not better.
and not all. It's Free Guy meets Big Brother at this point.
As long as someone is set on fire, that's all I care.
You lock somebody in a room and just brick them in.
Because that happened.
Or like Egg says, a pool with no ladder.
Yeah,
A pool with
exactly.
no ladder. There
Or
you go.
remove the bathroom from the house so they die because they can't poop.
Okay, so now, no, but looking at it this way, as a comedy, this could be, or a satire, this could be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has the potential to be incredible.
It could be a good philosophic meditation on the concept of free will.
Sure, I'll accept that answer also.
The chat room says that it should definitely be all in the Sims language with subtitles.
I don't want to read a movie.
And the
Tony,
people, the
we
people
were
have spoken.
just praising Bong Joon-ho earlier, and if you remember his Oscars acceptance speech about how if you could just read a movie, you could open up your mind to so many
Exactly.
great movies that are out there.
I do one every 5 years, and I've already done it for this 5-year stretch. So
Oh my god.
So you're a dub, not sub guy. Got it.
you got that.
Well, then,
I like
Unless the dub's really bad, then I will.
I like
and then I will.
I
do
like
the subs.
dubs with subs.
well, you want really bad dubs? I'll talk about a show coming up in the stuff I consume this week. All right. Anyway, let's continue here. Donald Glover, who I guess did Childish Gambino cancel his tour? Did he?
Yes.
Yes.
He cancel part of it at least.
He can't. Yes, he canceled the Salt Lake. It was the week of the Salt Lake show, so I was like, oh,
yeah.
whew, lucky me. But he said it was because so he could focus on his physical health. I read somewhere, this is conspiracy corner. I think that venues and like Ticketmaster and places they have an agreement where people cannot say they've canceled because of COVID.
Really?
Oh,
Listen again.
I don't.
I saw it on the
know
internet,
that.
so I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
Foil hat on.
But
I'll
it
make a phone call.
yeah, it seems very like feasible to me that there's like some kind of agreements in place where performers cannot cancel their shows because of COVID.
Well, he was interviewed, hopefully via Zoom, but he was interviewed talking about his Lando movie, his Star Wars movie. And he had some interesting thoughts, and not everyone is going to like them. I liked them.
Let's hear some.
He said, Star Wars, I love it, but sometimes it be super serious. Sometimes it be like way too serious. It's like everything that has to do with the Skywalkers is like so serious.
Preach, Donald.
Exactly. He also said, Lando, I think the best part about him is he's a scoundrel, and I feel like people can relate to that. So he's talking about the movie that he and his brother are developing. And he's probably like, man, this war is whack. I need money, which I feel everybody can relate to. So I want to just bring fun to Star Wars. I just want it to be fun.
We also wanted fun Star Wars, and we
like
kind
fun.
of got it, and then y'all got mad about it.
Exactly.
And now we don't get to have it.
As a Star Wars fan myself, I think it's important that there just needs to be more fun being had. It's very hard to have fun right now. It's tough because there are very serious things happening, and those are the things that connect us weirdly. So I get why things are serious, but part of the human experience, I believe, is we have a responsibility to have enjoyment and just feel like I feel like we're lacking in that department.
So he wants a Star Wars comedy?
He wants his Star Wars to bring joy.
I want a Star Wars comedy.
He wants Star Wars 11.
Then you guys can watch Lego Star Wars.
Yes.
I want a Star Wars comedy that's not Lego.
You know what I wanted?
You're asking for the world, Tony.
I wanted to see the Han Solo movie that they were going to make.
Yeah, with what's their names? Phil Lord, Chris Miller.
That's what I wanted to see. And I get the feeling that is what Glover is going for with his movie.
Cool.
I don't know this. This is just me. But I get the feeling he saw what happened there and went, no, that's bullshit. Let's do it right. We'll do a Lando movie. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Some fun Star Wars would
Maybe
be good.
this one with the kids is going to be fun. I don't know.
It could be. Look at all
I'm
those
so
cute.
scared for those kids.
Look at those cute little creatures in there, though. You know, it's going to be fun, I think.
I hope.
But I see what you mean by worrying about those kids because the fandom. Oh God, the fandom is exhausting.
Bad.
Ask Jake
Jake Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's another little bit of news. John Cena.
This is a
Seen
very
here on the set of
serious
Fast and the
picture.
Furious.
Those are Hot Wheels cars.
They're not, Tony. They're Matchbox cars.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and
The
that's
toy.
that's what this is about.
What was I
They're very
thinking?
different.
No, they're
Yes.
not.
They
Not
are.
anymore. Not anymore. They're all made by the same company now.
They are made by the same company, but they have different approaches to each line.
This is true.
Matchbox was first before Hot Wheels. It started in Britain. It's a whole. I made the mistake of watching a documentary.
Oh, so these are the Black Mirror of toy cars.
Matchbox cars started in Britain. No wonder they fell apart easier than the Hot Wheels
Oh,
cars.
snap.
Tony, do you have
British
opinions
cars.
about
Shot
foreign-made vehicles?
Wow.
Take that, British-made cars.
Name one other British-made car.
Aston Martin.
Oh, but that's what James Bond drives.
Yeah, and they have probably 19 of them on set so that when one's broken down, he can jump in another one.
The Minis used to be made in Britain, but they're made in Germany now.
Yeah, they got bought by BMW.
Yeah.
Vauxhall?
Land
Citroën.
Rover.
Is
No,
Citroën?
I think is.
Citroen, I think, is Italian.
Is that Italian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the Volkswagen car commercials recently where they're like, we have a very rich history of making cars. Isn't that fun? And everyone's like, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How about that time period from the 30s to the 40s? Do you care to talk about that?
Let's
Is
talk
that the
about
sa-
it.
Is that the same commercial that has a song by Neil Diamond playing in the background?
Oh, I don't remember.
Because there's a historic Volkswagen commercial with the Neil Diamond song playing in the background, and I'm like,
Oh my! That reminds me of a joke talking about. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, about Gotham being in New Jersey. Bruce Wayne
Where it
is named
belongs.
after Bruce Springsteen.
But John Cena is going to be starring in a movie called Matchbox based on the car toy line. I don't. Okay,
how many of
before
these
you.
are they
Hey,
gonna
if they
make,
could do
like,
it, if
20
they
of
could do
them?
it for Barbie.
They're gonna make 20 of these
but-
Matchbox movies.
I was going to say it's
Get
an
out.
Apple
Get out.
Apple original film. But wait, Sam Hargrave, the director behind the Extraction movies, Rebecca, is going to helm the
Extraction.
feature. Yes,
Extraction.
The screenplay by David Coggeshall, who wrote The Family Plan, an action comedy. Jonathan Tropper, who wrote The Atom Project for Ryan Reynolds, so it's going to be a comedy. Yeah.
I liked the Atom Project. I thought it was.
I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Matchbox toy brand first created in 1953 and acquired by Mattel in 97. Mattel competed with Matchbox in the die-cast car space with its own line, Hot Wheels. According to lore, automotive enthusiast Jack Odell designed the first car for his daughter, who was allowed to take a toy to school only if it was small enough to fit into a Matchbox.
Oh.
And then his daughter's friends begin clamoring for more cars. Boom. And there you go. But
cute story.
what it's going to be about, we don't know.
And nobody ever talks about fast ones.
Nobody ever talks about Sizzlers, which was a Hot Wheels
That's a-
spin-off.
That's a seafood
Salad
place.
bar, unlimited shrimp.
Yeah.
Or SSP cars. They never talk about SSP cars.
Ooh.
Look
I
'em up.
actually do remember those.
Yes, they're wonderful. They would go fast. Anyway, I miss my Sizzlers, actually. That was a lot of fun because
I love Sizzler, my God.
no, they were little Matchbox cars with a battery. And
Oh,
you
the car.
and you hooked them up to this battery charger that held 4D battery or 6 or 8D batteries in it. It looked like a gas pump, and you'd plug it
8
in,
pounds of battery.
and you would hold the top down for 4 minutes or so, 5 minutes, and it would charge the car up, and then you flip the switch, and the car would go on its own. So I could play with Matchbox cars and not have to do a thing. It was great.
You have to use your hands. That's
I
like a
didn't have to.
baby's toy.
I didn't have to imagine anything. I just go, there it goes. Yep. It's great. Anyway,
Wow.
Cool story, Pete Pop.
sorry.
Let's get you back to bed.
Wow.
Man, I know, right, Rob?
Oh, man. Tough crowd.
I know. Incredibly harsh crowd.
I had one of those RC cars that was, you could intentionally drive it into a wall and it would crumple up. And
I
then
remember
you'd have-
those.
Yeah, I had one of
Yeah.
those, but it had a remote.
Ours didn't. Yeah. It was an SSP car, and you ran it into the wall. Actually, you put two of them, and you'd have them on jumps, and they'd in midair, and they'd hit, and the doors and things would fly off. It
Were the
was like-
SSPs the ones that had like this, the little zip stick that you pulled through?
Yeah,
them?
it had the wheel in the middle, and it was
Yeah.
pulling.
There we go.
I had one of those actually. Yeah, growing
Awesome.
up. I remember that one.
Anyway,
I was busy having sex with my wife.
What? That kind of took a weird turn.
Yeah.
well, it is. When is the bisexual day? All right.
Tomorrow. No, the 23rd.
I meant more just age reference, not gender.
Anyway,
Welcome to the show, everybody.
so what's it? Let's change the subject. Change the subject. What's it going to take to get you to go back to movie theaters, people?
Zipline.
How about a
That'll
zip
do
line?
it.
So now Survivor movie. Oh, great. That's great.
This is from I Think You Should Leave. Such a good show.
I think you're only here for the zip line.
I love it. I love
You
it.
don't like
And the
movies.
popcorn.
Here's the thing. It's let's see. One of the biggest theater chains in the U.S. and Canada is going to invest $2.2 billion to make changes in their theaters. Well, first of all, they're bringing better picture quality, which is good. Better sound.
Yeah.
Those
but
are
in-
table stakes. Come on, guys.
But in some cases, zip lines. Yeah, over the next 3 years, it was announced by the National Association of Theater Owners in a press release. So this is what we're talking about is AMC Entertainment, Regal Cinemas, Cinemark USA, Cineplex, Marcus Theaters, B&B Theaters, Harkin Theaters, and Santikos Entertainment. Okay. Michael O'Leary, the president of the chain, says, consumers today are very demanding and want to have a range of things that they can do in any given setting.
Such as.
Here, let-
So,
let-
like,
let me-
here's the
I'm
thing,
sorry.
though. If I go to the movie, I know what I want to do. I want to watch a movie.
I want to watch a movie.
Thank you. Yes.
Some of the theaters intend to install zip lines, bowling alleys, pickleball courts.
Wait. They're
That
just
won't be
making fun
distracting enough.
centers.
They're
Yes.
just exactly. They're just making
it's
fun
like
centers.
reinventing cable.
No, hold on a sec. Wait a second. Let's take a step back from this and look at this from a real estate point of view.
Okay.
If they're not making the revenue from whatever movies they're putting through, whatever they're getting to come through in a given season or cycle,
Okay.
they need to be able to put the equivalent of butts in seats. We've got all this space that's going half used, especially during post-pandemic America. So now we're using this. We are making a fun center basically, but we can now upcharge for this. We're not making the money on the concessions. We're not making our money because it's all from concessions for movie theaters.
So what Dave and Buster's should do is open up a movie theater.
Movie theaters. And let me tell you what you should do, movie theater owners. This is what you need to do. You need to have someone come in the theater and yell at people that are on their cell phones or talking too loudly or just being generally terrible movie patrons. That would get me in the theater a lot more often. I tell you what.
So paying human beings to be ushers like they used to.
Exactly. Making sure that the concession stand is stocked with enough employees that you don't have to wait 15 minutes to buy a bucket of popcorn.
But
There
they
you
get you
go.
through all the trailers, and you can just sit right down and watch a movie.
I mean, that
So-
sucks though, because like we shouldn't have to have employees telling people to not be on their phones, because those people who are on their phones are already super inconsiderate, and have you ever told somebody to stop being on their phone? They
Yeah.
talk back to you and they tell you to shut up. Like
Yeah.
they
Really?
do not give a shit. Yeah.
They don't
I
care.
wouldn't want to be that guy.
I'd,
And
I
I don't.
totally do
and
that.
so
I'd
like
do
I
it. I'd do
don't
it.
want to.
You're out.
I'd feel bad for the teenagers working at the movie theater who have to tell that person only to get yelled at.
Yeah, that's a point. So people are awful. We could
Yeah,
spend
People are
imagine
good.
watching Endgame and
Someone zip
this
lines through
person
the
zip
theater.
lining through.
zipline through Endgame.
On your
in-
left.
In other bad ideas, Lionsgate.
The
His
movie,
feet-
hey, but it's the company that brought you Blade.
Well,
No, that was
yes,
And
New
the
Line.
Hunger
Sorry,
Games.
That was New Line. Sorry,
and
never mind.
Megalopolis. Lionsgate is going to feed its movies to AI.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah. It is a first of its kind partnership, is what they're saying in the press release. The deal is centered around the creation and training of a new AI model customized on Lionsgate's proprietary catalog.
Didn't we just have like a whole strike about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Similarly, yeah.
I wrote a note at the bottom of the story. Isn't that what we had this? Seriously, if you could see, it's just in parentheses.
And that's just, but I guess the strike was for like upcoming projects. They didn't say nothing about stuff they already did.
That's
Loophole.
That's the loophole. That's the technicality. Lionsgate Vice Chair Michael Burns said Runway, it's the AI company, is a visionary, best-in-class partner who will help us utilize AI to develop, this is where it gets scary, to develop cutting-edge, capital-efficient content creation opportunities. How corporate speak do you get?
Yeah, that is a terrible sentence.
Several of our filmmakers, which I'm not naming, are already excited about this potential application to their
Yeah, why not
pre-production
name names?
and post-production process. We view AI as a great tool for augmenting, enhancing, and supplementing our current operations. Yeah.
Making them better, stronger, and faster.
Variety points out Lionsgate's film and TV library, 20,000 titles, most notably John Wick, Hunger Games, Saw, Twilight, The Crow, Borderlands, Megalopolis. Oh,
Wait.
okay,
They were doing pretty good the first half of that.
doing good there for a minute. This is just bad. You're taking people out of the creative process. This is bad. All right?
Boo.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, can I go back to the fun center thing for just a second? I just realized one other thing that is now, that if this goes through, becomes an issue. Well, maybe not an issue, but when you walk in, like if you go to like the trampoline parks or whatever, you're signing waivers to go in. So are you going to have to sign waivers to go into these fun centers that have all of these things just to see a movie? Because, you know, people sneak out of movies and go to another theater. Once you're in the door, what happens? Sorry,
I
that's
don't
all.
want to sign a waiver to go watch a movie.
I don't either. But it just popped into my head, like, you know, if it's an all-in-one center,
No,
I
you're
don't
right.
remember how Hollywood Connection had them on separate sides of the building. Had like all of their skating rink, their mini golf course, and whatever the other thing they had over there was.
Laser
And the
tag.
movie theater, yeah, that's what it was. And the movie theaters were on the opposite side, and there was a huge gap that you had to get through to go from one side to the other. So I guess
remember
you could avoid
that.
it that way.
I remember that now. Yeah. Okay.
Going back to the Fun Dome days.
And finally this, and then we'll get to what you consumed this week. The Penguin director Craig Zobel wrote a fan letter to Matt Reeves after he saw the Batman. So the question is this how he got the Penguin directing job?
Maybe.
He says, I happen
Shoot
to...
your shot.
Yeah, I guess. I happen to have his email, so I reached out to say, hey, not for nothing, the Batman was the superhero movie I wanted to see right now. You killed it. He said, that was my first time saying anything to Matt at all. So I guess they had met before.
Wow.
But anyway, there you go.
You seen those reports about the next Batman movie taking place in winter?
I've not, no.
A flooded city in the winter? Perfect opportunity for a certain villain to pop up.
Oh,
Firefly?
Catwoman?
Yeah, all of the above.
Oh, the Weather Wizard, yeah. But he's
Weather
a Flash
Wizard.
Weather
villain.
Wizard.
He's a Flash villain.
all right. Let's find out what you consumed this week. Who wants to go first?
Oh, well.
Okay, Rob.
Again, being on an airplane all week, I didn't get to watch a lot, but I did watch some My Hero Academia with the kids. And last night, watched The Penguin, which, sweet mother of God, loved it.
I got to start that tonight.
It was a thing. And Colin Farrell as Cobblepot was just, I love seeing more of him. I love the fact that they built off of the Batman, and yes, Gotham is in New Jersey. Period.
See that, because I remember in one of the Batman movies, it was a Zack Snyder one. It was it was Batman v Superman. Metropolis and Gotham are like across
the bay from each other.
Each other.
So everybody assumes that Metropolis is New York and that Gotham is New Jersey, but it's actually Gotham is New Jersey, but Metropolis is actually in Delaware.
I always assumed Gotham was Chicago.
And
I
can see
did
that
too.
too.
Takes a lot of the architectural cues from Chicago, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they took a
And
lot of the
like-
Gothic architecture from Massachusetts, though, also for the traditional stuff, for the original things.
And
Okay.
isn't there
they're-
a theater in Chicago called the Gotham?
There very well may be. But Gotham, so this has gone back and forth a lot. Like Metropolis has moved a couple of times from Delaware. If you look at, depending on the show that you're watching, it's either in Kansas, across in Illinois, or Delaware where it's supposed to be. Sometimes people just stick it in New York because it's convenient. And people could just go, we can just sub this in like in the Christopher Reeve movies. But it is in Delaware canonically, but they kind of play fast and loose with that and just kind of say Metropolis and let it go.
There we go.
And there is a Metropolis, Illinois. If you're ever traveling through the southern tip of Illinois, that has their town square is set up like 1950s Smallville. So they're like 2-story buildings. There's a giant
Or Superman statue.
giant 15-foot Superman statue that you can take a picture of. There's a Superman museum there, and
got
it's
a
where they
picture in
hold the
front of it.
Superman celebration every, I think it's June.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Gotham was good.
Gotham, yeah. So Penguin was great. I enjoyed watching that. And I've got just 5 really quick picks for comics this week. Bring me up on one, Tony.
Got you.
The Moon is following us.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Now what is
Okay.
this?
I
So
still need
this
an answer to
is
that question.
from Image. It is a father and a husband and wife trying to save their daughter, and that is all I can tell you about this
Oh.
because there is so much going on in this story, and I really just don't want to give anything away. Solid read. First issue on the shelves this week. Check it out. Rebecca, this one's for you.
Dazzly.
Dazzler. Dazzler is in the post-Krakoan era. She's getting her groove back, getting back on stage, and being an advocate for mutant Out and Proud. There's actually a song that they have written called Out and Proud, complete with lyrics in the book.
Really? Oh.
Yes.
Who's the writer on this?
The writer is Jason Liu.
Jason
Not
Liu.
familiar with him, but I'm curious to see where it goes because I'm enjoying where it is so far. It's Dazzler on tour, and in the post Krakoa era, mutants are again not really popular. So she's just like, look, I'm doing this. This was my life before. I'm getting back to this. I want people to have fun. And good read. X-Men number 4.
Okay.
When you have a strike team that goes out with Magic as the lead and Juggernaut as her heavy hitter, things happen.
yes.
It also brings back Trevor Fitzroy, who hasn't been seen in the next comic in many years. Good issue, and there's something going on with Ileana. They haven't
Ruh-roh.
said what yet, but something's going on.
Okay.
Avengers number 18,
Oh,
featuring
there's-
the X-Men with Hyperion. And this kind of has a bleed back from a few years ago when Mephisto rewrote the world and put the Squadron Supreme in as the premier super team because he basically erased the Avengers completely. Hyperion's got a mad on because that world is no longer around, and the Avengers have to deal with it. You actually get to see Storm not fighting, but actually being like, we need to talk some things through, and has a nice chat with Thor in here. Check this out.
How does he bend over with that belt on?
I was going to say that belt's
He
a
doesn't
little
have to bend
ridiculous.
over. He has people do it for him.
That's right.
Wonder Woman number 413.
That's a great cover.
And this is a great cover, kind of a throwback to a little bit of her Odyssey uniform and a little bit of her early one of her early New 52 costumes. Absolute Power breakout, Absolute Power tie-in, where they're breaking superheroes out of prison with Robin and Steve Trevor, and she is depowered, so it doesn't go quite the way they expected, or in all the ways expected. But it's a great, great look at what makes Diana Diana. And then the follow-up story, or the little backup story, is another Trinity story with Damian Wayne talking about the previous issue of Wonder Woman and what they went through with them trying to get information on how to get into the prison that Amanda Waller has set up. Damian's version is slightly different than the way it happened, or it's slightly embellished in the way it's told.
Okay. I
Sounds
like
about
those.
right.
I like those gauntlets that she had on. Those are
And
cool.
they do, those gauntlets come in, play a part in the story.
She can deflect bullets even though she's not powered.
It hurts.
I'll bet.
Whoa.
A
Bullets
lot.
have a lot of power.
I'll
Yes.
bet.
Yeah. She was
hit
able to
hard.
deflect things. It did not go well.
Ooh, ouch. Okay. All right. Who is next?
Me.
Tony.
So my wife and I started watching The Golden Bachelorette this week.
Oh no.
Eh,
That was a choice.
I think it's very funny about how the Golden Bachelor was like 70 something and she is 60 something. I just
Yeah.
think it says a lot
So
about
now,
our society.
now all the guys on the show are like early 60s as well, same age as her for the contestants.
Grown.
But yeah, I mean, it's the same problem I always have with the Golden Bachelor shows is it's too earnest. These people are actually like looking for love
What
in
a
their,
Oh, the
point to
wrong
have.
places.
in their sad old lives. And I'm just like,
These people are too sincere. I
just
don't
like, how-
like it.
how am I supposed to make fun of you when you don't seem like an annoying, fame chaser? Dang it.
That's why you got to watch the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Tony.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle that, but I will probably do that one. Let's see. We also started a couple new shows. The English Teacher, or is it just English Teacher?
English teacher.
Funny.
Very funny.
I wasn't really on board with the first episode.
The second episode is where it
But,
gets good.
Yep, the second episode on, man, that show is funny. It's
There are
very
more
well done.
laughs per minute in that show
Yeah.
than most comedies out there right now.
It's really funny. And then we finished Kevin Can F Himself.
What'd you think of the finale?
What an ending, huh?
Right?
Yeah. I thought it fit very well. It just a great 2 seasons of television right there. Highly recommend. And then we're still going on Only Murders in the Building, just moving from strength to strength on that show. It's a great season so far. And then I decided to give, I'm still pretty iffy on this one. I decided to give Twilight of the Gods a shot, the new Zack Snyder Norse mythology adult animation
The
on
anime.
Netflix. It's very adult. Oh boy.
Is there a lot of slow motion in it?
Actually, less than I thought. The first fight scene opens with slow motion. It lasts about 8 seconds, 5, but I haven't seen any slow motion since then. So he seems to have toned it
He's
down a little
lulling
bit.
you into a false sense of security.
Probably, But the thing about this one is they are not ashamed to go with the sexy time stuff.
He's not held back by Warner Brothers anymore. I can't
Oh,
do this
man,
with the
I tell ya.
superheroes, but
There's some animated whoopee time that's like, wow, you guys just went
Tony,
for
sometimes you say things.
it. Yeah,
That's all.
I was just like, wow, that's okay.
Yeah, Brett wants to know if it's in slow motion.
It is
Boobies.
not- I don't think so. Anyway,
you have to go back and watch it for us and bring us and get us a report.
I don't want to watch it again. So we'll see. The only reason I'm still going on it is because I am a sucker for Norse mythology, and this
I was
is
going to say
going.
a sucker for sexy times in
Hell.
cartoons.
This one's going hard into the Norse mythology, though. In the
No pun
second
intended.
episode, they go to pun intended. They go to Jotunheim, so it's not like it's trying to be like, oh, this is a story of Viking times, wars, and stuff like that. It's like, no, this is a mythology story. And so there's giants and gods and all that kind of stuff.
Ice.
All right, honey, we're going to Jotunheim.
That's almost what it was, actually. And then I started reading, last but definitely not least, I started reading the newest Green Lantern series with Hal Jordan. And I got up to issue 13. I haven't read issue 13 yet.
And?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's great.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, you got Hal Jordan, who starts off with this weird ring that he made out of nothing. And then you find out along the way that there's all kinds of shenanigans going with whoever took over the Owen
Owen
took
Corps?
over Oa. Yeah, took over the
Corps?
little blue guys.
Guardians?
Guardians. Thank you. I couldn't remember that for some reason.
Smurfs?
Yeah, little blue men. But yeah, it's really good so far. I'm enjoying it.
Did you get to the one where he's getting beaten up in jail to try and break him?
Yep. And who is that character, by the way, that's beating him up? It's not King Shark. She calls him a different name.
No,
Amanda
Nanue.
Waller.
That's King Shark.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's his name.
It's his name.
I must.
Not away. Get off the comms.
Yeah. Okay. I must have missed that. Anyway. Yeah, it's good. I'm liking it. I'm going to keep going for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you reading Green Lantern War Journal with Jon Stewart?
No, but I think they teased that earlier in the run with some of the after.
Right. And they
after
teased it.
teases.
It just finished its 12th issue, I think.
Nice.
And
I'm
they're
gonna read
leading
that
into
next.
a regular full series with him as well.
Okay, because I'm caught up basically on the Hal Jordan stuff, so I needed something else to read, so I'm going to do that one next.
All right. Rebecca.
Okay, had a very good movie week this week. Watched Agatha All Along. I hate to say I'm having fun. I feel like, because I've been having conversations speculating about stuff, right? And I feel like I'm at a party outside with all the smokers, and I want so badly to socially smoke again. Speculate about Marvel, but I don't do that anymore.
What?
So
Since when?
I'm trying not to get all speculative about stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, very good movie week. I finally got to see Twisters in D-Box. That was a lot of fun. And the screening I went to was a captioned screening. So we were truly, truly blessed on that day. Some older movies I watched after Yang from 2021. It's about a family that has an AI helper for their adopted child, and he malfunctions, and it's all about love and loss and connection and humanity and blah blah blah. Colin Farrell, Jodie Foster Smith, just absolutely phenomenal. And from 2007, I watched Sunshine, which has been on my list for a long time, and I've heard nothing but extremely positive things about it. It's 2007, so it's celebrities that we know now before they were famous. You got like Chris Evans, Cillian Murphy, Michelle Yeoh, Rose Byrne, Benedict Wong. And it's a team of astronauts on their way to the sun to reignite the sun, essentially.
What? How? Oh, I gotta watch
Have
this.
you not seen this, Tony?
No,
Check
But
it out.
I never heard of it until I saw your tweet about it.
But so
It's a Danny Boyle movie.
Danny Boyle directed, written by Alex Garland. Pardon my ignorance, I had no idea. So, just absolutely fantastic movie. Loved it. I wish if I had seen that movie in 2007, who knows where I'd be right now.
Change your gosh dang life.
But there's two new movies that I want to recommend. The double feature from hell, complimentary. The first movie I want to talk about is called A Different Man. It doesn't come out, I think, until October 4th.
Is that the Sebastian Stan one?
Sebastian Stan. And it's about a man who has
neurofibromatosis.
Yes, but he undergoes a clinical trial for like a drug that will air quotes fix him, and it turns him into this disfigured man into Sebastian Stan, and how his life goes after going from somebody who he feels is ignored by society and treated poorly by society into someone who is handsome, but his neighbor is writing a play, and she's written a play essentially about his life, but she doesn't know that Sebastian Stan is the guy previously, but you get I want to say his name is Adam Pearson, who actually does has this disease, and Sebastian Stan and he kind of butt heads in a sense because he's living life to Adam Pearson's character is living life to its fullest and being very successful, and it's really like a nice reflection on was I a piece of shit the whole time?
Oh,
Like there's a lot more to personality than just looks, right? There's a lot more to being successful than just your appearance. Like you have to be a good person too. But I would pair that with a movie that came out this week called The Substance, starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. And this movie fucking rules.
I've heard so much good about this from so many people.
It is body horror. It is extreme body horror. But it's body horror for the girls, you guys. So it's
double.
Demi Moore plays a character who she is an aging celebrity, and there's the pitfalls that come with being an aging celebrity in Hollywood. And she was an award winner in her heyday, and now she hosts a morning aerobics show. But then the minute she turns 50, Dennis Quaid, probably in his best role ever, is like, "Hey, you're old now. We're replacing you." And
Wait, better than Reagan?
yeah. And Demi Moore's character is made aware of this drug called The Substance, where essentially it is a cell replicating substance that creates a younger, better version of you. But the caveat is you and this younger version of you, played by Margaret Qualley, are the same person. And you have to switch every 7 days. So for 1 week, Margaret Qualley gets to go out and exist, and then for 1 week, Demi Moore gets to go out and exist. And of course, we wouldn't have a movie if they followed the rules. So
Well, yeah.
yeah,
You set up the rules so that they can be broken later.
Do they
yes,
share the same consciousness, or are they two separate entities?
they are two separate entities. That's a really good question that I had during the movie that they don't really answer. Is does one have the memories of the other? I don't think so. But they don't really go into that. And
Now I kind of want to see this. Dang it!
Interesting.
so
I don't know. If
the
I can
last
handle
40
body
minutes
horror,
of this
though.
movie are some of the most insane 40 minutes of a movie I've ever watched. And I wish I was in a packed house. It was just me and 3 other people. And the whole time we were like, I had to watch a lot of the movie like this, because just I'm not underselling it when I say this is the most body horror, gory movie
Dang it.
I've seen in a long time.
I'm out.
Okay.
But I loved it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it.
Wow.
This movie
okay.
rocked.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Mike came over and we watched Agatha All Along, the first 2 episodes. And see, I watched the Mayor of Easttown show.
Water.
Yeah. And I knew right away what they were doing. Following in the footsteps of course, WandaVision, Agatha's still stuck in a TV show. Mm-hmm. The TV show she's stuck in is Mayor of Easttown, which
I like that the credits were like based on the Danish TV show WandaVision.
because Mayor of Easttown was based on a Danish TV show. The people who are making this show are such nerds, and I love them for it. So, first episode is, she's stuck in the show. We know what's going to happen. She's got to get out of the show somehow and go out and get her powers back and all of that. And so that's the second episode. The cast is amazing. It's amazing to see Patti LuPone in a Marvel show. Just one of our Broadway royalty in a Marvel show. But they're all just amazing, and Catherine Hahn can do no wrong in anything.
Great.
She could do a Mayor of Easttown show. But
Are you
there she
saying
is, and she
mayor
turns
or mayor.
Mare.
Oh, so the Kate Winslet show.
The Kate Winslet show. Yes.
Okay.
She could do that show and turn right around and be Agatha Harkness in all of her wild, witchy ways. But the whole cast is just amazing. And Aubrey Plaza, she's not in the second episode, and you're like, come back to be Aubrey. Come back. But I'm sure she'll be there. But it's what a great start. I loved all of it. Everything about it was just wonderful. Even the singing.
I was before the show started. I had to pause it and be like, if I have to hear the song one more time. Luckily, the song didn't make an appearance.
The Penguin show. Oh man, my wife watched it actually, and she was blown away. You know, again, she doesn't, because there's no superheroes or weird stuff involved. This is essentially The Sopranos. It's The Godfather. You know, that's what you're watching. And just so good. And again, so many great performances and a great setup for this whole series. But Christine, what is her name now?
Kristen Milotti.
Kristen Milotti. Oh my God. If this is what she's bringing to just the first episode, I can imagine in the next episodes, she's just going to bring full bore crazy, and you're going to love every moment of it. I mean, really.
She brought some. She did bring some in this one.
It's fascinating to see Cobb on the screen, Colin Farrell. But when she shows up, you're like, oh God, anything could happen. She's that
Whoa.
on the edge. Anything could happen. You never know.
Whoa.
Well, so have you watched a lot of shows with her in it?
I'm trying to remember the show.
She is fantastic in
Made
The
for Love?
Resort.
Made for Love.
Made for Love is fantastic. Palm
That's where-
Springs with
Palm Springs
That's right.
with Andy
she's-
Samberg. I
Andy
saw
Samberg,
her.
yeah.
I know I've talked about this before. I saw her in a play called After the Blast, written by Zoe Kazan, where she and William Jackson Harper live in society has moved underground after a nuclear war, and it's all about her trying to fight her depression, and she's given a robot to teach essentially, and she was phenomenal. The whole play is her, and she just carries such an emotional weight that was so good.
But Penguin, I'm looking forward to seeing where they take that. It's just amazing. I watched a documentary called The Lion's Share. It's on Netflix, and it's when I tell you what it's about, you're going to go, what? It's about the history of the song "The Lion Sleeps Tonight."
Oh, we know
Okay.
what?
Yeah, I know.
I love
was-
documentaries that are about the weirdest stuff.
I was just like, "Are you sure?" Because Sue's like, "No, we need to watch this." I'm like, "Are you sure?" It was fascinating because it's all. I know. I'm really going to sell it here. It's about ownership rights and contract law, and
You sound like me trying to talk up Onyx and the amulet.
exactly. I'm not selling it well.
Soul or whatever
But it's
last week.
it's fascinating. It's this writer from Rolling Stone who discovered the history of the song and where it came from, and how the people that created the song originally were not treated well, and then Disney showed up and made things worse. So
Sounds about right.
there you go.
Come on.
Say it isn't so.
And then another show that I'm watching is this Korean cooking competition on Netflix, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's Black Spoon, White Spoon, or something like that. Again, we got some bad dubbing happening here, but I can't stop watching it. I can't stop watching it. But anyway, there's that. And guaranteed, if you want Carrie to cry, throw on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And anything involving the animals, I thank goodness.
Has anybody started watching Chimp Crazy?
Don't.
Okay. I wasn't gonna. That's why I
Don't.
asked.
It's-
Is the one on
it's-
HBO that's supposed to be like the Tiger King?
Yeah, and remember the remorse you had after watching Tiger King. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
People should not be allowed to have these animals as pets. But anyway, so there's
I will never financially recover from this.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Thank God my wife is a heavy sleeper, is all I say.
Good sobbing.
Can I go back
Games.
Go to games, and I'll come back after Tony's done.
You can go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Brett, two options for you. Not so much as fictional cities. Salt Lake City has appeared in a couple of different comics as Salt Lake City. One is one that's intermittently being produced now called Salt City Strangers by Velleity Studios.
Yeah.
Here, they're a local company here in town. And then you can find those issues at Dr. Volt's in the Nerd Store. or also I think they've got, you can find them online at velleitystudios.com. Also, and this is a really deep cut, there was a comic by Will Shetterly in the 80s called Captain Confederacy that not only did Salt Lake appear in it, it had its own superhero named Dr. Deseret. The amusing
gosh.
part of this
Captain
is
Confederacy?
there were actually two Captain Confederacies. One was white, one was a black female.
Okay.
And it was kind of an interesting look because at this point, the United States had fractured into, I want to say, 8 different countries, and each one had their own superhero. And Dr. Deseret was the one for the state of Deseret. But she got her powers, oddly enough, from a drug. Go figure. But so there you go.
And Salt Lake was also featured in it was Old Man somebody, and it's in the
Yes, well, I think it
future.
was Old
Man
or
Logan.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
It was him and Hawkeye were traveling across
That's
the
Old Man
country
Logan. Yeah.
to kill the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the
his
character's
band
name?
of inbreds.
Yeah,
Maestro.
Maestro. Thank you. And they passed through Salt Lake City as well. Anyway,
So there you go. So that was
Get,
one thing. The second thing I wanted to hit really quick was neurofibromatosis, the disease that Sebastian Stan's character had in A Different Man. Reminded me, if you want to see a different take that is not the Sebastian Stan movie take on it, look for a movie called The Elephant Man, starring John Hurt from its mid 80s. It is not necessarily a feel-good movie, but it is a incredibly well done movie. It is in black and white, so there's nothing wrong with your TV when you watch it. But it was also redone as a play,
yes.
starring David Bowie, the
Bowie,
late
that's-
David Bowie.
And that's when he wrote Scary Monsters Super Creeps, the album. But it was also directed by David Lynch, the movie, and produced by Mel Brooks, of all people.
Really, that I
Yeah.
did not know.
Yeah. Anyway, games, do we have any?
Yeah, we got the Plucky Squire. Came
Oh,
out
I thought it was going to be the Plucky Squirrel.
a few
Plucky
days
Duck.
ago. Check that out. It looks really interesting. You start the game off playing as a character in a children's book, and the point of view is looking down at a book that's being read, and then there's times where you get pushed out of the book and you play in the child's room with all of his stuff in the room and have to get back in the book. And anyway, it looks really interesting. I watched a video on it.
Oh, Disney Infinity.
Yeah, you could say that. Coming out this week as well was God of War Ragnarok on the PC. Very, very, very good game. That was a PlayStation exclusive up until this point, so now it's on PC and you can play that. Also this week was Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, the very first Dead Rising game that came out, I want to say 2006. This is a remaster of it. It's running through a mall, destroying zombies. So
Great.
there you go. Yep.
What more do you want?
You can't ask for anything else, you know. Also coming out this upcoming week, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. So it's a remake of the Disney Epic Mickey game. You get,
Okay.
A facelift for the graphics there.
It was the painting game, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then also the new Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, out for the Switch, where you actually play as Zelda the whole time,
What?
not as Link. Yep. And then also Balatro coming out on mobile devices. It's this card game that's just gotten huge on Steam
Yeah.
and all the consoles too, I think. Switch
Yeah,
for
it's-
sure.
I mean, if I've heard of it, it's big.
Yeah. and now you'll be able to play it on your phone and your iPad. So
Yeah.
there you go. You can play it while you poop.
All right.
Oh,
That's about it. Yep. We're gonna end on that.
And that's a podcast right there.
Play it while you poop.
All right. Thank you very much for being here. We're going to head over to the after party now. Geekshowgotthiscovered.com is the link. You can join our Patreon, and we continue doing this after this. Does that make any sense? Anyway,
I get it.
join us
makes
for the
sense.
after party. We're heading there now. Live long and prosper, bitches.